Hi, I'm Joni Hilton, your YouTube mom, and today I want to tell you a whole lot of stuff about candles. It's coming up on Christmas, which is why I've got my hat on. And this is a time through the holidays when a lot of us use candles, sometimes a little more than we normally do. These are some tips that I shared this morning on Good Day Sacramento. I'm frequently a guest on television programs, and I want to share these with you now. So let's start over here. Sometimes we will burn a candle in a glass container, and I've actually talked to you about this before, that sometimes it gets stuck on the glass that we burned it in. It melts. And this is one I've had outside, so that's why there's some little leaves in there. But you can prevent that by spraying it with a non-stick spray first, or if you've already got a situation like this, the way to get that candle wax out is to pop it in the freezer. Then it will crack and you can take it out of its container. And that brings me to why you should never freeze candles, because this is what will happen. Candles crack when they freeze. So don't do it thinking it will burn longer. It doesn't. What will happen is it will crack. Okay, here are a couple of other examples of what you don't want. This candle, I'm showing it to you to show you the soot line. This seems to happen and we get so frustrated. Why does a candle create soot on its holder? Well, if you look at this candle, it has a really long wick. If you trim the wick, you won't get as much soot. The other thing that causes it is a draft. So if you can, keep your candle away from a draft. Now, if you have a candle that has burned down this far, it's time to throw it away. Don't be chintzy cheap like Joni and try to keep it burning to the last drop. When it goes down that low, you really risk the jar exploding. So get rid of candles when they get down that low. Now, let's say you don't have one of these and you can't find your matches or whatever. This is a great way to reach way down. Let's say you have a small candle inside a hurricane. What you do is take a strand of spaghetti and it will light, and in a pinch, this is see how that lit? And what you can do is you then take it down into a place that's hard to reach, and then you can light that candle. I'm gonna blow that out rather than go through the whole thing. And now, let's say you have a candle lit, maybe a tall taper like this, and you want to blow it out, but you don't want to splatter wax on your tablecloth or on anything. So what you do while it's burning is you put your finger in front and go, and it disperses the air just enough. It'll blow it out, but it won't splash the wax. Now, with that same taper, let's say you want to put it in a holder, but it doesn't quite fit and it wobbles. Just wrap a little aluminum foil around the bottom, just a little bit, and now all of a sudden it will fit, and then you can tuck that in where that won't show, or use even less. If you have candle wax that has splattered on a tablecloth, what you do is you get out your iron and a paper towel and a knife, and before that, let's say you've got some wax spilled, get something really cold out of the freezer, like a bag of peas, not an actual ice cube because that's going to get it wet. But put it on your wax again to harden it and freeze it. And crack it and break off and scrape off with a knife all that you can. Then put a paper towel over the spot and iron it on low temperature until that paper towel absorbs all the wax. If there's still a little residue left, then a dry cleaning solvent would be the thing to use to get rid of the last traces of spilled wax. Now, here's the last thing. I want to show you some cute ways to decorate. These are some candles that I have decorated with jewelry. It can be the one earring that's left when you lost one earring. It could be some brooches, a bracelet, a necklace. It's a fun way to doll up your candles at Christmas time or any festive time. And then if you have one in a hurricane, it's fun to surround it with something seasonal. You know, at Halloween you could use candy corn. Here I've used some cranberries. But you could use little tiny glass or metal ornaments, just as long as it's not something like pine, which would be flammable. And it's an easy way to dress up your table. I'm your YouTube mom, and I'll see you next time. Be sure and tell your friends to subscribe.